What's going on, everybody? This is Raquel from Mevia Consulting, and I'm back with you guys today with another video. Today, we're going to talk about something different. And today, we're going to talk about this guy over here in this video that went viral 6 months ago and has a very powerful message behind it. But before we go any further, if you don't know me, if this is your first time on my channel, please check out my website, Mevia Consulting. You know a little bit more about me. And without any further delays, let's get into this video because this is very interesting. On this channel, I talk about entrepreneurship, small businesses, processes, procedures, things that you can put together to make your business grow. And it might not look like it's related to the video of this guy, but it is. And it's the human element behind entrepreneurship, life choices, and what makes people get out of the corporate world, go into business themselves, and what makes it work and what makes it fail. The story of this guy is very interesting. I'm going to link his video in the show notes. He was a neurosurgeon, a very successful one for over a decade, and he just quit. He literally quit everything and went to live in the mountains, as you can see. This is a 45-minute video, but a very powerful video with a very powerful message about purpose and life choices and what makes somebody so successful, so dedicated, give up his entire career because it didn't feel right anymore. And it talks a lot about, I think, on the purpose level, everybody wants to find their own purpose. I think in this day and age, we're looking into a scenario that's very dramatic in terms of how people feel in their careers. I navigate a lot in places where people are looking for jobs and looking for opportunities, and I see a lot of people constantly saying the same thing. They study so much, they dedicate a lot of their time, decades in his case, for a career that once they finally landed a good job in a good position, they decide they finally understand it's not for them because it doesn't fulfill their purpose. Now, a lot of people don't have a purpose, and a lot of people just don't find their own purpose until late in life. This guy is fairly young, so he understood that what he wanted to do as a doctor, as a neurosurgeon, was not there. The capability was just not there, and he felt more and more and more unhappy about it, even though he had everything on the material side, on the financial side. But he was literally destroying himself. So he made a plan and he left. Now, this is the part of the video that I want you guys to pay attention. Do you have a plan? Because I think a lot of people will get into that point. I'll risk and say everybody's going to get into that point in their lives. Some people will get it there early, like he did. Some people won't get there until it's really late in life. But I think to a certain extent, everybody wants to find their purpose and find their happiness, and some people just don't have the means to do that. Now, this guy had a successful career, so he was able to save money and start fresh and think. At one point in his video, you're going to hear him say, I did not have a plan. I just didn't have a plan. I didn't have any other job. I didn't have anything. I just left. The going into the unknown for a lot of people is very scary. A lot of people are afraid of changing their careers, changing cities. They just don't want to break any of the familiar habits, even though it's destroying them, because they feel like it's just familiar. I know what it is. It's predictable. I don't want to jump into the unknown. He did the jump. And it's like I said, it's a very powerful video. A lot of people do the jump with less resources than he had. Like I said, he had a plan, a financial plan, because he made enough. And because he put his message out there, this was, in one way or another, a new open door for him for whatever he wants to do from this point on. But the plan, right? When people go into business themselves, they come in to this realm thinking I'm going to have more quality of life. I think one of the things that he touches on the video is about that. Everybody wants to have quality of life. He talks about spending time with his wife and being with his dog and being able to do the things that he always wanted, to hike with his dog and all that. And everybody wants to do that to a certain extent. I think everybody does. But all that costs money. All that costs money. It requires a plan. And while you're going through the storm, if we could put it that way, working jobs that we don't like, doing things that we don't want, sometimes taking contracts with clients that we really don't want to be in, that's the lesson. That's when you learn what you don't want to go through again. And that's when you have to have the self-awareness to plan for this moment right here. I think everybody wants to, I don't know about everybody, but I would love to live in the mountains. Everybody has that dream. Some people want to live in the mountains, some people want to live in the beach or in Thailand or whatever, but all that costs money. That's the reality right there. And I think the biggest debate right now is quality of life, mental health, and financial stability. How do you put all the three of them together? There is no just up and quitting everything without a plan and without the initiative to start fresh somewhere else. If you go into his video, you're going to see a lot of comments, and it's very interesting stories about other doctors, engineers, IT people, a lot of people that left the corporate world and went into living simpler lives. But some of these people went to do, landscaping and simpler jobs and living in small towns and enjoying life in a different way. And this is absolutely incredible, but it is a choice that you have to make, understanding that you still have to do something for your own survival. And what does that all have to do with what I do in entrepreneurship and small businesses and stuff? I think it's in small businesses, dealing with small businesses for a while and talking to people on a one-on-one basis, which is what I've been doing for a long time. I see the struggle in people. I see that struggle in being consistent and building new things, even if it's a small thing. A lot of people want to, make money online and start a YouTube channel or social media or something like that. And I see how hard it is for people to be consistent, stay consistent. And, I want to post one video a day or two or three videos a week, or I want to publish a new article on my website once a month. I see how hard it is for people to commit to simple things. Yet there's a lot of debate about quality of life. I'm all for quality of life, and I love the message that this guy put out. And I'm not talking about him. I just don't want anybody to make a mistake into looking at his video and feeling inspired and going out there and quitting their jobs or quitting their gigs and their contracts without a plan, a financial plan. He had a plan. That's what I'm trying to bring to your attention here. He had a plan. As a neurosurgeon, he was making enough to have enough money saved. And he said himself, not for his entire retirement, but for a period of time where he can think and strategize and think of something else that would actually make him happy. I think people have to find their passion and find a way to make their passion become their source of income. That's what small business is all about. If you like to bake cakes, if you like to entertain parties, whatever you like to do, if you walk dogs, whatever that is, if that's your passion, make it your purpose and make that be your survival. Make that be your business. And I think one of the biggest mistakes I've seen in entrepreneurship is people coming into business for the money. I start my business because I'm going to make a lot of money. You are wrong right there. You're going to end up in the same road as a whole bunch of people end up, feeling frustrated, unhappy, unfulfilled, because you're just there for the money. And it's not about the money. And this is what this guy also is telling in his video. A lot of people make a lot of money in business, but if your passion is not there, you're not going to pay attention to details. You're going to make a lot of mistakes and you're going to end up losing everything. And you're not going to have the passion that sustains your purpose when the money is not there. And I think that's the biggest thing. Business alone can be challenging. If you are starting right now, it is going to be challenging. A lot of people don't have the support. He has a wife that supported him in his decisions. A lot of people don't have that. A lot of people are out there on their own trying to build their business and survive the storm, but you have to stay on track, and you can only do that if you have passion for what you're doing. If this is really your calling, your purpose, however you want to call it. Otherwise, if you're just there for the money, you're gonna be you're gonna be quick to drop, like everybody else, like a whole bunch of people do. It's not this. What happened to him doesn't really happen all only in the corporate careers. It happens everywhere. I've seen so many people start businesses and quit before the 1 year mark, sometimes before the 2 year mark, sometimes before even earlier than that. Just simply because when they figure out it's gonna be hard, they quit. It's not his case at all. He's he was not a guy that was lazy or anything like that. He was just the purpose was not there. What he idealized that his career was just not in a medical field. And he was right. And I absolutely support him. I love his message. I think what he has to show for is something that a lot of people need to discover about themselves when they go into business, and it can be a life changing. It can have a life changing effect on you. But for small businesses in general, I think people that want to do a jump and quit whatever it is that they're doing and start something new, something fresh, be ready, have a plan. All that costs money. And the last thing I want is for people just to be impulsive and turn a month and don't have any money to pay their bills. A lot of times, I think the realization of purpose, passion, and all that really comes out of necessity for a lot of people. I think you have to go through a period of time in your life where you don't have what you want, that it's unreachable. Your dreams, your passion, your purpose is out of reach for a certain point, for a certain period of time. It has to be impossible before it becomes possible for you to actually value it. Otherwise, you're just going to jump from one thing to the other, just feeling constantly unhappy. It's that it's I mean, like a lot of people say, it's the suffering that makes you wake up. A lot of people in the comments from this video will say he had this awakening moment. And I think you only have that if you go through the struggles. And um, I help a lot of clients go through that. I see how bad it can be when the money is not coming, when they're putting so much into it and they don't see the results immediately. But there's a reason for that. You have to go through that stage, the building stages of your business and in life in general. I think you have to go through that all the time in order to value what comes next. Otherwise, nothing has any value at all. But I know this is a different kind of video. I don't want to push it too long, but I think it's something to think about. Plan, go through the struggles, save your money, understand, build what you want to what you want in terms of dreams for the future. If you have a small business right now, if you're in the wrong career right now and you have to stick to it, you don't have to just stick there to that career. Don't do anything else. You can build whatever your dream is on the side at night, on the weekends. You got to give up a few things, sacrifice now in order for you to eventually have that quality of life. Don't jump straight to the quality of life without having that solid foundation, financial foundation that you're going to need, because quality of life is something that everybody wants. But if you don't build it, it's never going to be there. It's not going to happen overnight. And that quality of life is going to be sustainable once you go through the struggles. Most of the time, a lot of people want to jump through that. And that's the message for today. So I hope you like this video. I'll be back with a little bit different videos here and there. I'll do some commentary on stuff like this, which I think is really important. So take this video in, watch it. It's a really powerful message. I think it's super important. But always come back and think he had a plan. Do you have a plan? Do you want to go live in the mountains like I do? Everybody, I think a lot of people do have a plan. Go through the struggles and then learn how to appreciate all that, because that is going to make you value this moment even more than you could ever think of. Okay. Well, thank you guys for being here. And I'll see you on the next one.